What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? You're tuned into the Fantasy Couch podcast. We're talking fantasy football. We're going to start off with some questions on the live stream. Drew's going to be picking some good questions, good topics, hopefully. I think the last two lives, you guys have been asking great questions and basically coming up with the content. So keep the good questions coming, good topics coming. So ask me anything. We're doing that. We're also going to be talking about fantasy football psychology. Why the heck are some players going super early? Why the heck are some players going super late? Kind of makes no sense. We're going to try to make sense out of it. And then we have a draft party story at the end. Also talking about Travis Etienne a little bit. So we'll see. Depends on how many questions we get, but I think we got a lot to talk about. So just keep the questions coming. If you're in the live chat, I see them from wherever we're live streaming. We're live streaming on 5 platforms currently, while also doing the audio podcast and uploading it there. So just keep those questions coming. What do you want to talk? You want to talk about? Let's start off with ETN. I think it's a simple topic.
Yeah, right on. We just did get a handful of questions. It looked like there were a bunch in the queue and they just fell through. Do you want to go through some questions instead?
Do ETN first. No, we'll do ETN and then we'll go back. So I asked Fantasy Docs on Twitter at Fantasy Docs. So make sure you guys go follow him. Oh, sorry, on Instagram. He's on everything as well, but his handle is different. He's on Twitter and TikTok as well. But on Instagram, it's at Fantasy Docs, FANTASY. DOCS. So give him a follow on Instagram. And I asked him just a quick DM. I said, what's your thoughts on Travis Etienne coming back from Lisfranc injury next year? Like, basically, I'm asking him, is this going to linger? Is he going to be back, 100%? Like, are you worried? And this is a quote from him, exact quote on what he DM'd me back. He said, if ETN doesn't require surgery, I see a low but still present risk of injury next season. If he requires surgery, it would be hard for me to trust him next season, both due to likely reduced performance and associated soft tissue injury risk. So sum that up. If there's no surgery, then he'll probably be back to 100% or really close to it next year. But if it does require surgery, he's going to be pretty concerned that he's not going to be 100% or something bad's going to happen. So just a horrible injury for ETN. Is there anything you want to add to Travis Etienne? You have him in one dynasty, just one share, right? Total?
Yeah, just one share. And honestly, I think I'll keep him. I got a feeling that this isn't as bad as like an Achilles. I did a little bit of research and found out a couple guys had some pretty decent years afterwards. But like
with
you said,
the Lisfranc, not the Achilles, just to be super clear. Yeah.
Just to be super clear, with the Lisfranc injury, it's not as bad as the Achilles injury. Supposedly, according to some studies I actually looked into. So I'm feeling a little more confident in ETN, especially if you're, like you're saying, without surgery.
All right, so go back to that. Ask me anything. So let's do we have any good questions before getting to the other topics?
Yeah, I think we got a couple good ones here. So J-Rob seems to be a hot topic.
Ooh, yeah, I mean, according to my rankings, Amar, I am taking J-Rob over Chris Carson, but only by 1 rank. So to further answer the question, to further talk about James Robinson, I'm taking him mid-round 3. I'd consider him early round 3, 12-team redraft. I'm not taking him round 2. I think that's just too early for a team that I'm starting to get kind of terrified over. Like, you got a rookie quarterback, you got a weirdo coach, a lot of moving pieces, you got a bad O-line. Literally the worst team last year. And did they tank and kind of go for Trevor Lawrence? Yeah. But if they tried, I mean, how many wins could they have? Like, let's say they tried like their bet, like they risked their lives, they put it on the line, they probably wouldn't even got 4 wins. Like 4 wins would be a stretch for them last year.
Yeah, they're gonna have a tough time this season. I don't see a lot of great offense from them, but who knows? But maybe later in the season as things get, rolling along for them.
Yeah, so yeah, J-Rob, right around where you're taking Dobbins, right around where you're taking Chris Carson, maybe even Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but I'm kind of high on Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and he seems to not be injured. His injury doesn't seem to be that major. There is some concern that it's going to linger, but that concern is like almost 0%. Next question. Only the good questions.
Same ballpark for now.
Chris Carson or Dobbins? I'd go Dobbins. So it's like he's right in between those two guys. So it goes Dobbins. Oh, wait, Dobbins and Carson, he said. Okay, so it goes Dobbins, then James Robinson, then Carson, and all three are like really, really, really close. Next one. We got Will saying, thoughts on Damien Harris since Michelle got traded. Honestly, doesn't change too much. We assumed that Michelle wasn't get too much work, but yeah, his value does go up. Just not tremendously. Damien Harris is the starter, and now we're very intrigued with Ramondre Stevenson. I think he's getting a lot of hype. The ADP is not. I haven't seen his ADP skyrocket or anything though, so you might still be able to get him at a decent value. Now, who I'm actually really intrigued about, who's technically a real sleeper, is James White. And we see Mac Jones says, non PPR to stay away from James White. We saw that Mac Jones has earned the role to be starting quarterback. Now, will he be starting quarterback? We don't know. I don't think he will, to be honest, not week one, but he could. And I think he's outplayed Cam. And with Mac Jones in there, I think James White's going to be really good, and he'll be back to PPR form. Let's face it. The reason James White fell off a cliff was because Cam was quarterback. Cam was running back and quarterback. That's why.
Goal line vulture and all.
Next one, yeah. Late round RB and wide receiver you really want on your team. So I'll be honest, I am dead tired. Been working on the sleepers and bust video. That's going to drop. I knew you had
some info on this
tomorrow. Yeah, I've been working on this. It's one of those lawn videos. I'm looking like 45 minutes. I don't know, something like that. 40 minutes long. It's going to be at least 30, 40 minutes long. I'm working on that. And I got a ton of sleepers and running backs and a ton of functional advice too. That's going to really help out. So a late round RB, that's funny. I just named one. James White is pretty good. I want to keep tabs on who's going to be the Chargers RB2. That's another one that, I think because it might be a committee and because people aren't really in 16-team leagues, probably not worth it, but still something to might as well monitor. If there is a real solid RB2 for the Chargers, I think that's going to be a complete steal. Well, those guys aren't even being drafted. Who else I got? Late round. Gio Bernard's I think it's a very easy answer. Full PPR, Gio Bernard's a good one. And wide receiver is Jacoby Myers. I mean, we're really sticking with this Tom Brady Patriots theme here. But Jacoby Myers keeps going round 14. He's definitely in that video as a sleeper because he's just going so late. He's actually going about half a round or one round after Nelson Aguilar. And let's just say they're both about tied. I think I prefer Jacoby. But they're very close. And, Aguilar's going round 13. Jacoby's going round 4. I mean, round 14 means like the draft's over. As we see, Younghoe Koo goes before Jacoby Myers.
That's a good question, though. Here's another one, though. You've answered this before, but
10-team PPR league with the 10th pick. Would you feel good with Eckler or Harris? We call him Najee on this show, by the way. Don't do that.
Not Damien.
Yeah, I mean, we just did a Damien Harris segment. Yeah. Or would you feel better with the RB wide receiver? I don't know if I answered this per se because now we're talking about a 10-team league. Yeah, in a 12-team league, it's the answer is very simple. It is wide receiver, running back. In a 10-team league, it's much more shallow, but not extremely shallow like an 8-team league. So I'd be fine with Kelsey here. Kelsey probably won't fall to the 10 spot. I don't like Eckler. I'm going to be talking a lot about Eckler on the video that I'm dropping. I've been talking about Eckler for the last few live streams, so I don't like Eckler. I'm okay with Najee here at the 10 spot, 11 spot. I'd prefer Antonio Gibson. I think that's what you want to aim for, is Antonio Gibson. I also think that you don't want to go RB, especially in a 10-team league. You want to consider getting Kelsey or Adams or Devontae, or Adams or Diggs. So you want to consider getting Diggs, Adams, or Kelsey, and maybe with the second pick, go with the best running back available. And that's probably for me is going to be Saquon Barkley, Najee, or Antonio Gibson, more than likely. Nick Chubb is also fine there. There's other options, of course.
Yeah, I told my son he's got a number 9th overall pick in his upcoming draft. I said, just go Devontae or Diggs first round and then wait for that good running back in the second. So.
Yeah, you'll get a top 10 running back with the next pick.
Let's go on to this one.
Any concerns on Jamar Chase? Yeah, he's going way too early. He's way too overhyped. And right now his career is off to a bad start before it even begins. So I don't have any stock in him in redraft. In Dynasty, don't hit the panic button yet, because why? He's still there. He didn't get suspended or nothing. I'm just going to chop it up to what happened. If you guys are keeping up with the drama and the Instagram stories and the accusations, I'm going to chop that up with baby mama drama, because I've heard a lot of, stuff about her in the past and no one's reported on it, because just, I'm going to say that I'm not trying to take any allegations lightly, but it probably falls more under just drama. And that's still a red flag. That's still bad. It could escalate. I mean, and anything could happen. I'm sitting here right now in my room. I don't know what's going on there. I'm just trying to, translate what's going on and help you guys win your league. So it's still a red flag. Also, he's dropping all the balls. He's rusty. That's a red flag. He was never a good value draft pick in redraft, because you could get Devante Smith 2 rounds later. You could get T.
Tyler
Higgins.
Boyd.
Well, yeah, him too.
5 rounds later.
You could get T. Higgins nearly 1 full round later after Jamar Chase. And yeah, you could get Tyler Boyd 4 rounds later after Jamar Chase. Those were the values. And I'm comparing Devante Smith because he's the next best rookie wide receiver. You guys already know I'm drafting Devante Smith all the time.
So you just answered this question, I think.
Which rookie wide receiver do you think can be the Jefferson of 2021? Let's be honest here. Jefferson's numbers are unattainable. Yeah, they're just unattainable, and it's got to be Devante Smith will come close. He'll sniff it. He'll come close with it.
Moving on.
All right, Ninja. Yo, which side of the trade? Adams, Carson, Hawkinson, Cup. Okay, Adams, Carson, Hawk, Cup. Oh, I have
draw a line there.
Yeah, but if you say that too fast, I feel like I'm going to say something gross. Something
not
inappropriate.
internet approved.
Yeah, this is a friendly show here. It's like a tongue twister. Okay, so Adams, Carson, Hawkinson, and Cup. And then the other side is Hopkins, DK, Kittle, and Dobbins. This is a tongue twister.
Half PPR for the listeners,
PPR. All right, so Adams is a slight upgrade over any of those wide receivers. Carson, a little bit below those 2 wide receivers, but still kind of in the same range. Hawkinson's a little downgrade from Kittle, and Cup is a bit of a downgrade. I think I'm going to go with the right side here. So the Hopkins, Metcalf, Kittle, Dobbins side would win it for me, because Cup is definitely below those guys, and Hawkinson's a slight downgrade from Kittle.
Yeah, it's a close trade for sure. I'd probably agree with you, but if I'm arguing on the other side, I mean, Adams is going to have a freaking monster year. Hawk could catch all the passes from Goff, for example, or the majority line share, and Cup could be real good with Stafford. I mean, he could take off this year.
I think this is easy math, though. Like, I'm not saying the first side is bad. I think clearly the second side, but the second side is clearly better, actually, because who cares how good Adams is? We're talking about Adams and Cup. So I'd much rather have Hopkins and Metcalf than Adams and Kupp. And so that's a win. I'd rather have Dobbins over Carson, even though it's really close. And I'd rather have Kittle over Hawk, even though it's really close. So I think it's actually really clear. Someone tried to sneak in a Cooper Kupp in this deal, and it didn't work. Next.
Just one Kupp in this deal.
First pick in a 10-team redraft. Should I go RB or RB wide receiver? Don't go RB. That's all I got to say. Go Kelsey or get a wide receiver. What else we got? From Facebook user. How do you feel about taking Kyler, Allen, or Lamar in the 4th or 5th, or waiting for Tannehill, Hurts, Stafford in the later rounds? I think both are acceptable. I just think that, Allen. I don't know why I read Allen Herbert. I think both are acceptable. I usually just wait, right? And then if Josh Allen falls to like late round 5, he never does. I might take him. If Mahomes is falling to round 4, I might take him. I just wait, and then I'm usually staying that Herbert. Who else is there in that range? Wilson, Rodgers.
Dak.
Dak now. I mean, all of a sudden.
Yeah, he's
I
falling
don't
all
know.
of a sudden
I guess
because of the injuries. I guess, or
I mean, it's not related to the injury direct. I mean, that's the reason.
No, it's a shoulder, right?
Yeah, what I'm saying is that I feel like the ADP didn't directly correlate with the injury. Like, oh, he got hurt, and then like right away, and then like, oh, he's, they call the Major League Baseball team, they call the Rangers or something, and like, oh, right away his ADP fit. Like, I feel like it stewed around, and people just got nervous. Like, and this is going into the next time we're going to talk about is fantasy emotions. I just feel like it's not like warranted, but I mean, whoever falls right within that top 10 range, top 8,
Definitely.
top 9, who's ever falling, I just take. And that's going to be, it used to be Justin Herbert and Wilson all the time. Those two are falling. Now Herbert's going a little earlier. Sometimes it's Rodgers. And if I miss out, I can get Tom Brady. You didn't name him. You named Tannehill, Hurts, and Stafford, but you didn't name Brady. And Brady might lead the league in passing yards, might even lead the league in passing touchdowns. I mean, it's
throws picks.
It's Tom Brady. It's Bruce Arians. They're stacked at every position. They're literally the best team in the league. So yeah, you really don't, in a 1 QB league, you don't have to worry about it. Whoever like drafts the quarterback first loses. Whoever reaches for quarterback loses. That's the fastest way to lose your league. So you really don't have to do that. Now, if Josh Allen is there at round 5, that's fine because he's my second best quarterback. Next. What is the earliest you would take Darren Waller? Is he worth his price right now? Well, he's going in round 2 and round 3. So I actually seen him go early round 2 and I've seen him go late round 3. So that price range is totally different. One actually means he costs more than twice as much. So I love Darren Waller. I draft him in round 3 all the time. And I've never drafted him in round 2. I think my draft videos speak volumes, like when I do them, because it's not like I want to really tell you, like, don't ever draft him round 2, but it just seems to be the common theme that I would never take him round 2. And, if he falls, because it's kind of like, this is the real functional advice here, is that, oh, I might get Kittle in 2 more picks, right? If Waller's still on the board. If Waller's still on the board, usually means Kittle's still on the board. Oh, I just missed out on all the top 3 tight ends. Well, I might be able to get Hawkinson in round 5 and round 6. You see what I mean? If not, hey, I might be able to get Mark Andrews in round 6. If not, I might be able to get Kyle Pitts in round 6. So, and then if not, then hey, I mean, you're definitely playing tight end roulette. So
there you go.
That might be tough.
I think good advice for Waller is if you have like picks 1 through 5, let's say, try to get him as your 3rd round pick. So that's, early 3rd round pick, basically territory. That's kind of where you should.
Or you could be like me and just get him at 3.06. Oh boy, in the calculator.
Exactly right. I mean, 1 through 5, 1 through 6 territory. Then you should be eyeing Darren Waller as your 3rd round pick. Moving on though.
Backtown. Full PPR, mid to late 3rd round. Julio Jones or Mike Evans. I got Julio Jones ranked ahead of Mike Evans. I'm going Julio.
We just got a comment here.
Freak Stomp 49ers says, go 49ers. Hey, I got a question for you, freak. Who's starting week 1, Trey Lance or Jimmy G? I got a question for the whole chat. Let's go. Who's starting week 1? That's a good question. Who do you think starting
I think
week
Jimmy.
1?
I mean, they got to be safe, I think, in this case. We got a team that could go to the Super Bowl. Just play it safe for the first few weeks.
I think 51% chance is Jimmy G. I really think there's a realistic shot that it's Trey Lance.
Speaking of fantasy emotions, no, I like Lance in maybe week 6 if Jimmy's not producing. But otherwise, put him on the bench the whole season.
We'll see.
Who do you even play Duo League? Fantasy users log in. The Duo League. Do you want to talk about that at all?
Well, it's some kind of. It's because our Facebook group is secret. It's private, and so it protects them.
We got a couple of Jimmy comments though, for sure.
Jimmy, we got 1 for Jimmy. 2 votes for Jimmy. Well, 3 with you.
There we go.
Did you not see the smile on his face?
Feels great, baby.
Jimmy G's an actor. Watch out for him. He's getting lessons from that date he went on with that adult actress last year.
Yeah,
excellent acting lessons from her. I'm sure he got. I know it. OT says I know it depends on who is there, but who should I target at 8, round 8? I believe in a PPR 12-team league. And Jimmy, yeah, round 8 is a magical Jimmy. Round actually. So I got you there. Devante Smith's there, smash the draft button. Antonio Brown's there, smash the draft button. Michael Carter's there, smash the draft button. If Trey Sermon's there, and you play in more than one league, you may want to draft him there round 8. That's a bit risky, but this guy Mostert, man, he can't even stay healthy for 0.1 seconds out here, man. He just got hurt like the other day. Like this is insane. Like he's getting hurt every second. But there could be a committee there in San Francisco. It's just just the romanticizing that Trey Sermon could get a stranglehold of that RB1 spot. That's pretty disgusting. I mean, we're talking about that's basically like a round 1 player if that happens.
All I know is when I play Madden, Mostert is a straight cheat code. I mean, good Lord, the guy is so
all right.
fast.
You're turning off injuries. We know you turn off injuries before you play. We know.
No, pre-existing injuries. I mean, the rosters haven't updated. You guys can back me up in the comments.
This guy turns off the injury settings. That's the only reason.
The rosters haven't updated. Schobert still on the Jags, for example. So.
Yeah,
just so you
come
know.
on.
Anyways, here's another question.
Gal says McLaurin, Keenan, AJ Brown, or Justin Jefferson. Man, you got to just check out fantasycouch.com. Check out my rankings. I got Jefferson ahead of all those guys.
Where was this guy's question? I'll try to find it. I just meant to pull that up so I could see his name. And then we got another one here. Dak. What was his name?
Would you drop Latavius Murray for so Dak is trolling me for drafting Latavius Murray here, and I mean I'm at like I'm almost there. I'm almost there dropping Latavius for Tony Jones. We're real close here, but I'm not pulling the trigger yet.
This is Chris. A good question from Chris.
Okay, with DK being considered the wide receiver 1 in Seattle, and with Jefferson being considered the wide receiver 1 in Minnesota, who would be a better flex play, Thielen or Lockett? I could have just did it without the beginning of that question at all. Like
Thielen or Lockett?
Yeah. Well, I'm looking up the schedule. So who do they play? So Vikings play the Bungles. Now that's sexy. That is sexy. And Seahawks play the Colts. So I'm gonna go with Adam Thielen. Yeah, I'm gonna go Adam Thielen for sure because the Bengals, their offense might be okay, but their defense will not be okay. The Colts could be kind of opposite. Maybe it's a low-scoring game. As far as the Bengals, I mean, their defense isn't stopping anything. That's why
they're going to score points too.
They throw the ball all the time for a reason. Yeah,
for sure.
I
Dak
like
wants to report back.
I wasn't trolling. I'm about to abort on the Latavius choo-choo train. Yeah. Yeah, man. We might have to push the abort button. I think the train's still going, but there's no steam in the engine. I think it's just coasting along. and we might just have to jump off that train and just roll. You know, we just jump off the train, we roll, we make it out alive, go hit the waiver wire.
Here you got a good one.
Antonio Gibson or Jonathan Taylor at half PPR. You guys can go with Jonathan Taylor. I'm going with Antonio Gibson, as he is my just like breakout player. Even if you can call him a breakout player, like I just think he's got top 5 RB written all over him. He's gonna absolutely crush it. When you're in that range, because Jonathan Taylor now has fallen, he's going around like 12 overall. 10th overall earliest. When you're in that range, like, man, I would love to get Antonio Gibson there. So Gibby's my answer.
Freak has a couple comments for you. They're kind of long, but he did respond to you.
He says, it's always been a committee. Elijah Mitchell is coming. Is he coming? He's arrived. I don't know if he's coming. Elijah Mitchell's coming.
Been there since he signed his deal.
Yeah, I don't know. He's coming. Like, what is? How does this work? All right. He looked great in camp. Mostert was the fastest man in the league the last 2 years. Wish he could play all year. It sounds more like I think this guy likes the Niners more than fantasy. I just want to be clear. I love my fantasy team more than the Niners. I grew up watching Joe Montana and Steve Young. I love the 49ers. I met a lot of 49ers. I work for Steve Mariucci. He doesn't even remember me, but I worked for Steve Mariucci for 5 years. I don't think frankly, I don't know if he likes me, but I like Steve Mariucci still. I'm telling you, the Niners, they don't really pay my bills, right? Like, I make a living off fantasy football. I obsess off fantasy football. I'm fantasy first. And then I root for my Niners. That's 100% me. You want to call me a fake Niner fan? I don't care. Why would I care? Why would I care? I'm literally making a living talking about fantasy football. And I'm the worst. Like, that's my worst character assassination. I'm a fake 49er fan. Anyway, what I talk about is Freak Stomp 49er. I just got a feeling he's definitely Niner first and fantasy second. Because no fantasy owners like, I wish Mostert would. Like, I just never. I don't know.
Do you remember in the beginning of the Fantasy Couch Draft Party League where we had Ramon and he would bench players who played his Niners? So if he had like Sean Alexander, for example, he'd get benched twice a season.
Yeah, that was before we filmed it. So I don't even know what league that was. Yeah. So he would bench. Now he benched the stud. Yeah, he did. Like you said, he benched the stud going against the Niners. And you know what? I mean, that's what separates me from him. Like, you know what I mean? I went one route and he went that route. And now I'm here doing this. And he's rooting for his Niners, which is fine. Like, it doesn't affect me, but I'm just saying there's two different species here, man. I'm a fantasy freak. I'm going all out for fantasy football.
Here's a question from Sushane.
Where should I draft Lance in 1 QB redraft without reaching? The magic number is when the round hits double digits. Okay, because it's exactly what I did. I wanted to take him round 9. Like, I mean, I really wanted to take him round 9. And I got a Lance fan to my left, and I got a Lance fan to my right in that draft. You know what? It's actually equal distance because pick 2 is Mike. And pick 10 is Sushane. So exactly equal distance from each other. And so both these guys are going to be picking. And, I'm like, oh, my God. But I just had to stay disciplined. And then in between there's going to be some hidden Lance fans as well. This is a lot of Niner fans. And you know what? I was like, let me just attack, RB wide receiver one more time. I took Kenyon Drake, who I don't even like. And then I got Lance in round 10, which is still fairly early. My biggest knock on my take, I can criticize my own team, and I do it as good as well as non-biased as I can. My only knock with Lance at 10, not so much that it was that early, because I feel like it wasn't. It's that I can't put him on IR. I have to roster him, and now I can't really like drop him or anything. You know what I mean? Like, I'm forced to keep him, just like when some idiot drafts, a defense in round 10. Like, you don't want to drop that, right? Or even if you draft Justin Tucker in round 10, like, you can't just drop that guy. like you're inclined to keep him. And so I'll be inclined to keep Trey Lance, whether Jimmy G starts or doesn't, whether Lance makes a lot of mistakes or doesn't. And if he doesn't start, I'm keeping him several weeks. Like I'm not going to drop him before I see him take a snap in a regular season game. So that's my main knock. Just to sum it up, it's going to take up roster space, and taking up roster space for a backup quarterback in a 1 QB league is not good for your team. It's a knock on your team. So that's my big knock on him. But what I did well was I got Tannehill, who I'm not a big fan of. He's not going to win you a lot of games, just not going to lose you a lot of games. So I got Tannehill. So might as well go with a more upside guy who just could completely just be an amazing elite fantasy quarterback. And in my video and on live streams before, I talked about week 14 on the Niners schedule is Bengals, Falcons. I know the Texans week 17. And I'm forgetting some other team here, but the last 4 games, just an incredible schedule. Could it be the Cowboys? I thought you'd look it up. I thought you'd understand and look it up, Drew.
Oh, sorry.
I thought you'd be on it. I got you.
Well, no,
Bengals. Look, Bengals, Falcons, Titans, Texans.
There you go.
Week 14 through 17. That's the schedule. And so Lance could be a league winner, or he could just take up valuable roster spot on my team. We'll see.
Well, no, I was just looking at comments. It looks like Freak Stomp was a little upset at your assessment of his fantasy skills. He says, I don't touch 49ers in fantasy, just Kittle. He does like Trey. But I guess you made something up in your head all about him, for example. So I don't know if you want to say something back, but I think you were just talking about the fact that 49ers fans.
Yeah, he's making it bigger. So Freak, just say me, do you prefer, who do you want to win more, your fantasy team or the 49ers? It's just simple yes or no question, and that's all I was assuming. Which one do you like more, your fantasy team or the Niners team? So just one word answer. If you had to choose, one will win and one will lose, your fantasy team or the 49ers. It seems like he got a little emotional there. That's like
he might have thought I was bringing up the Ramon story and making it about him, but that was a story.
Oh yeah. We're not calling you an idiot.
We had him years ago in our league.
We're not calling you an idiot like Ramon. Ramon's not listening, right? Yeah, I doubt it.
No, I doubt it.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. So I now understand why he's like, oh, these guys think like I suck at fantasy and I'm gonna do everything. Yeah,
it wasn't about that.
No. Yeah, it was more about us than you, Doug. But yeah, again, answer though. Which one wins and one loses? Fantasy team or Niners? You got to pick one. And I'm just curious to know. And I have no judgment. I have no judgment on Ramon. Like he can bench all the players he wants. That ain't my fantasy team. That's his fantasy team. Who do you like better, Ayuk or Kupp in the 5th if they're both available? I'm going with Cooper Kupp. I'm not as big on Ayuk as most. I think Kupp's much safer. I think he's always going to be targeted. He's also a good run blocker, so he'll always be in the lineup. But if someone goes Ayuk, I'm not mad at it. Ayuk has more upside, more risk. I'm a fan of watching Ayuk, but I don't know. I don't like his price tag.
I personally think Kupp's going to have a better season. Niners are more of a running team just based on that. I know you're looking at like wide receiver ones, both of them. Robert Woods is still really good. Debo's pretty good too, but I think Kupp has a better season than Ayuk. Here's a longer question. I know you don't like them necessarily, but it's involving keepers, I believe.
What about this one? They both have glasses, bro.
I was going to get to that.
Yeah. Oh, to go back to the other one, yeah.
But yeah, we do both have glasses, that's for sure. I was trying to figure out it as well. But in any case, Michael Reed, you want me to read this one?
Well, come on. Look, Freak Stomp 49. He has to understand that I'm joking. It's called, we're just, what's the other phrase besides busting your chops? That's
busting your chops.
I'm just busting your chops, bro. Like we're just messing around. You know how fantasy guys talk. You know how we joke around. Like I'm smiling when I talk. I'm clearly joking.
Yeah. Well, Ramon would have talked a bunch of mess back to me if I brought it up.
Exactly, right? Yeah. I mean, it's just, dude. Like it's not that serious, bro. Like, come on, dog. I'm not like. I honestly don't even know what I said, but I offended him, and I'm sorry. He didn't answer my question, but he hates the dude with glasses. So Michael says, in a keeper league, we added 2 roster spots due to possibly C19. We can only keep players drafted after 4th round. Is it worth drafting ETN last pick to stash?
Not a bad strategy.
I mean,
but 2 roster spots is so little. There's got to be
2
other
IR spots is what he's. Or no, he maybe just for people on the C19 list.
Oh yeah, I'm a little confused now. How many people can you keep then?
He can keep.
Maybe
we can only keep players drafted after 4th. Yeah, we need to know how many keep. I'm gonna just go with no when we don't know any of this, but yeah, it depends how many players you can keep. If you can only keep 1, definitely don't do it.
Okay, here's another one. I like this one too because I actually am a big Mooney truther. What do you think would be a good round to draft Mooney here? I should read it. Sorry. Val says, in redraft, which round would you draft Mooney? This is Darnell Mooney, Chicago Bears wide receiver.
I think 10 again. The same answer.
I love him this year.
I see him going 9.
Play waiting to happen. And he can do the, underneath possession routes too, just the same. I mean, not Allen Robinson level by any means, but he could take some pressure off of Allen Robinson too. I mean, he helps A-Rob owners for sure.
Maybe we need Justin Fields to start, which should happen.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, what round?
I'm assuming
you gotta give him what round though.
I would say a little later, actually. I'd probably say you should hope to get him in 11 or 12, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I see him going 9, 10 a lot. I've seen him fall as well to 12, 13, but
he probably won't get to 12 actually.
He's going to go 9, 10 nowadays. But yeah, I've seen him fall to 12, 13.
Then I'm wrong.
It's going to be hard. So I mean, round 10 is very acceptable. I think that's great spot for him. On.
Facebook user says Jamar Chase or Jacoby Myers. Chase is just chilling on my bench. Should I just hold him a few weeks?
I don't understand this question.
Yeah, sorry. It sounds like
it's not a good question.
He has both guys. Jacoby.
Who should he start? Is this a start sit question? I've gotten 2 start sit questions already this year. But that only 2 though. That's pretty low number. So
Dak's got a comment about Mooney. That's nice.
Darrell Mooney is not the next Antonio Brown.
Okay. Michael responded. He said only 1 keeper. So for ETN, would you draft him in the last round if you can only keep 1 player after the 4th round? Or just in general, keep 1 player?
I think, okay, what's going to happen is someone's going to draft him before that. I can guarantee it. Someone's going to do that. And, it's a good thing to draft him in the last round, but I'd be more focused on everything else you got to do because I'm assuming that you lose the pick the round where you drafted him. So that would be great value. Okay, yeah. If he is in the last round, sure, go ahead and do it. But I'm telling you right now, you're not the only one to think of this in your league, and he's going to go earlier than that. You know what I mean? Like 15, 14, 13. Like someone's going to take him around there, like round 13. Trust me. But yeah, if he's in the last round, I mean, what do you got to lose? You just stash him on IR, right? It sounds like it's just regular IR spots.
He's got 2 IR spots, he said. So that's great. And let's go back to another one. So we had an answer to that. Myers is in free agency. So it sounds like Jamar Chase is on his roster. He could pick up Jacoby Myers on free agency. Should he do that?
Well,
or she, maybe she.
Well, look, I mean, if you drafted Jamar Chase, you can't really drop him. I mean, come on. You can't drop
Is this
Jamar
Lux?
Chase. No.
I'm just messing around.
No, because I drafted Jacoby.
There you go.
Jay's in the building. Hey, 10-team PPR traded 8th and 13th for 10 and 11. Which is I think that's a good trade. Who should I target at 10 and 11? I'm thinking you go with a wide receiver and running back, just as you would have before. So you're looking at Adams or Diggs for sure. And you're looking at, it's a 10 team. So you could also go Kelsey. So with one of those, I'd probably go Kelsey, Diggs, or Adams. And then with the other, just draft the best running back off the board. Which, you know, some people might disagree with me that it's Saquon.
We'll get to that, I guess, here in just a second. More on Saquon. Here's another great question, I think, for
all right. With this,
backs.
Look, our standards are like, it's got to be good questions. Otherwise, we're moving on, because these will get in like there's a bunch of numbers and weird names and stuff. So if
you
there's
just
no
like
more,
no
because
pictures.
this is a podcast that we got to make sure this is the right topic. You know, I feel like I'm just having a one-on-one now. So if there's any, if you see any more good questions, good topics, like I'm down. But I think we're gonna move on after this, unless we see some fire. Unless Freak Stomp comes back, he's long gone after he missed on the glasses thing. he's the player with the helmet on, like the guy with glasses.
So I'm going to read this one. Facebook user says 6th, 7th round RBs. Who do y'all like? Gaskin, Mike Davis, or Kareem Hunt?
This is correct. Let's break down all three of these guys. So we got Myles Gaskin, who is very talented, should be the RB1. The coach said it's going to be a committee. I don't believe it. Good pass catching back and do it all. Should be featured. Not the best team, the Dolphins. Not the best O-line, but I feel like it's definitely good enough for him to do some damage. What we're worried about with Gaskin, and don't say injuries. I don't like it. Don't do that. Just a small sample size, but it's the committee. Mike Davis, there's very, very little committee there. He's actually had a very underwhelming career until last year. For just like a few games, he was balling, and Curtis Samuel stole his job for a couple weeks here and there, or in spurts. That's not a good sign. So that guy's not really good. And the Falcons running backs have never been good ever since Shanahan left. That's a few years ago. That's a long time. And he's just a very underwhelming guy, but there's no committee. There's zero committee there. He has proven he can catch the ball. And so that's a great running back in PPR, but at his value. And then we have Kareem Hunt, who's probably the most proven, the most durable, most talented, you know, as far as sample size, because we only seen Gaskin play like 10 games or something. And yeah, Mike Davis, how old is Mike Davis? I think he's 29 years old.
28, I believe, if I'm guessing.
Look that up. I think he's 29. I'm pretty sure. Look that up to confirm. Yeah, he's 29. We haven't seen him. You know, he had like one like mediocre year, and then last year he did okay with CMC out. So for me, I think Gaskin's gonna have the most upside.
Mr. Davis is still 28 years old.
He's 28. I was wrong. Okay. Is he turning 29? So I could be close. Like, is he late 28? We'll confirm. We will confirm if it's a later 28 or early 28. We will confirm this. But I think Gaskin's the one that's gonna win your league. For me, I like Hunt and Gaskin over Mike Davis. Good question. It's like kind of stumped me. It's definitely a tough choice, and all three are different. But I think Hunt definitely over Davis, much more safer. And then if Chubb gets hurt, he's going to skyrocket. And I would go Gaskin over Mike Davis, possibly, if you want to risk it.
Just reporting back, February 19th, 1993, Mr. Mike Davis was born.
It's like
in South Carolina,
28 and a half.
Georgia.
So about 28 and a half.
Where he's playing football today. No, I believe it would probably be, to me, Kareem Hunt first, honestly. I just feel like he's more like dead in his prime. Gaskin second, and then Davis. I am a little worried about the committee in Miami. Plus, I just think Hunt is still going to ball out with Chubb. I really think the Browns are going to do something good this year. And they have a really good offense and whatnot. But if it's PPR especially, I think Hunt's going to really take over on third down, especially going forward.
Yeah, Chubb only gets 1.5 targets a game, and that therefore Hunt's the guy getting the
and like
targets.
You said, injury to Chubb, skyrocket value for Hunt.
Yeah. Guys, let's give an applause to Drew for saying to draft Kareem Hunt over Darrell Henderson. Was that like 3 podcasts ago? Whenever Cam Akers got hurt, maybe 4 podcasts ago. I don't know, maybe longer than that. But
you sped it up on me. I was trying to stop it at the certain point, but you were trying to run past Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, that's what you were saying, and I mean, and yeah, right now we have, Sean McVay said something today. Don't listen to him, guys. Don't. Darrell Henderson will be heavily involved in the offense, is what he said today, and it's like, dude, you just said 2.5 weeks ago that we don't need any running backs. We're just fine. Like, what am I gonna talk to you? Like, what am I gonna listen to you for, dog?
He's like, well, he got a hand injury. He hurt his hand, so he went out and got a running back. It's like, well, he just like lightly sprained his hand. Oh,
yeah,
well,
we all know what the trade was a good trade for them, like for both sides. Look, one of the beat writers is saying that Sony Michel's going to be the starter, and put that in quotes.
That'd be hilarious.
No, I believe it.
I'm just saying it would be hilarious if that happens. Because
but
Henderson,
not even
Xavier Jones
starting means nothing. Like, obviously they're gonna play Michel, like they traded him, and I'm thinking, I think Henderson's gonna be heavily involved. I mean, we're looking at maybe like a 40-40 split, and then a 20 of mystery man, whoever it is, Xavier Jones or whoever. Like, I feel like there's gonna be 2 or 3 running backs in the mix. Definitely Michel, definitely Henderson. Like, they wouldn't just go get trade for a running. They have no draft picks. They had to pull that draft pick out of their back pocket. Like, they had to dig through the couch, try to find some draft picks.
Is it like a conditional pick or something?
Oh, it's a whole mess that I don't understand. I'm not going to get into.
Yeah, I didn't understand it. I didn't go back and read through it.
It was against the rules, and so they had to go back and look through the cushions again to find another draft pick. And they're like, "How about this?" And then they get all right, let's just.
Feels like, all right, just
it's
make
about
it
the same.
Do you want to answer one more? It sounds like there might be a decent one, but it's ranking 3 running backs. We got.
All right, let's do it. Last one. Last question by Jay. Jay asks, PPR, what order do you rank these guys? Chubb, Aaron Jones, Eckler. I'm going number 1, Aaron Jones, number 2, Nick Chubb, and number 3, Austin Eckler. Way lower.
Who, by the way, PPR posted on Twitter something about if you win with him on your team, you send him a screenshot of your winning score and that you could possibly win a signed jersey. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
That's definitely the topic I want to talk about. Let's go to my topic. Fantasy football emotions. I definitely want to talk about. So this is going to be one of the main topics today. So I want to talk about we got a picture of Austin Eckler. Let's talk about him. So Austin Eckler, let's go out of order here. But yeah, Austin Eckler. I think a lot of people want to root for him. And I always say I have an advantage, or not really an advantage, but a perk of getting to talk to you guys. And I like listening to you guys. And, sometimes you guys say horrible things that make no sense. Sometimes you guys talk some sense into me, and I really am proud of myself for actually listening to you guys, and it really helps me out when I come up with content, and also when I'm picking my DFS picks, because I know what the people's thinking. And that's something that professional fantasy football players actually hire a team. Sometimes they only hire one guy, but like a full-time guy, or some have a staff to hire and go look, who's going to be contrarian? What are these podcasts talking about? Who's thinking what? So I can go get a sleeper pick, a contrarian pick in DFS right at the top of the tournament. And it seems like everyone likes Austin Eckler, the human. And now he's doing this giveaway. I think it's with ESPN or something. If you draft him and you play him week 1 and you win and you tweet it, there's like a long list of rules to do it. You get to possibly win a signed jersey, which is all cool and everything. But that just came out while I was thinking about this. And it's like, I think Austin Eckler is the guy that people just like and people romanticize about. And I think that's why his ADP is so high. I'm thinking he's more of a round 3 guy. The most he's got is 11.6 carries. People say he was great last year, but I mean, he really wasn't. He only got he averaged, oh man, I don't want to misquote it, but it was about 10 or find out how many yards per reception he averaged his big year, which was 2019. It was like 11 yards or something, 10.6, something like that. We'll get an exact number in a second. About 10.6 yards of reception. I mean, he had a ton of big plays. He had a ton of catches, and I just don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know if he's going to be consistent. I don't think he's going to be healthy the whole year. I don't think he's going to be a workhorse. So I think he's going a little bit earlier because people like him and want to root for him. Now, a guy that people hate, including myself, is Josh Jacobs.
Do you want some information here? So in his big year, that's probably what, 2019?
Yeah.
His yards per reception was 10.8.
That's pretty high. And that number dropped down, by the way, the next year.
Yeah, to 7.5.
Yeah.
And he started his career 10.3, 17, 2018, 10.4, 2019 was 10.8, and then last year was 7.5.
But
and that's yards per reception.
But how did Anthony Lynn hold him back? Like, that's what I want to say. Anthony Lynn held him back. But how? I mean, because he couldn't catch the ball and run big distances? I don't know. To me, he's a big play guy, and he's not going to get enough carries. I'd rather get Najee Harris or Antonio Gibson, who might, fit the workhorse mold better. Let's go to bring a picture of Josh Jacobs. Now, here's a guy that's being hated on, and now sometimes. Oh yeah, I'm very guilty of this. I got to check myself. I mean, he made a post last year. He tricked fantasy owners. They didn't like it. He's like, I'm not playing. And then he played. He's like, just kidding. And he put up the middle finger directly to fantasy owners. And he was a disappointment last year. So it's like a double. He did two things that hurt the fantasy owners. And I don't know. I think he's being underdrafted. And what's kind of crazy about Josh Jacobs, I'm finding out people that have been reaching for him are either Raider fans or living in Las Vegas. Now, my sample size has been 2 guys that have done that. But let me know, anyone who's drafted Josh Jacobs or has somebody in their league that's drafted Josh Jacobs round 2, describe this fantasy owner to me. Do they live in Vegas? Do they live in Oakland? Do they live in LA? Huge Raider places. Are they Raider fans? Let me know, because in some leagues, this guy's actually fallen to round 5 or 6, and I think that's money. So
I'd consider trading for him, especially like in a dynasty league, if the value is right there, especially if you're trying to win now. I think he could take off, depending on, if Drake plays a lot, if he just really takes control of that backfield. There's a lot of factors, obviously, but
he's like
you want another picture?
He's like a poor man's Nick Chubb. Like, he's not like he's I don't think he's gonna be that yet. Very poor. But because Nick Chubb's an incredible runner.
Yeah.
But I'm just talking about the stats. I think still, if you get him in round 5 or round 6, and now I'm even thinking of taking him round 4, but that's just one of my rounds where I can get so many other guys. I'd rather go tight end probably, and if Mahomes is there, I'd rather go Mahomes. Somehow he falls. But all I'm saying is Josh Jacobs is probably being drafted way too low. If he does fall to round 5 or 6, take him. I'm even throwing round 4 out there because of this ETN injury. Like, these things spiral. They have a chain reaction. They don't just RBs just don't move up. Like, if Josh Jacobs ADP is 4.8, like, it shouldn't just go up to 4.07. There's a lot going on there. People are going to be really desperate for running backs. Another guy I wanted to talk about is AJ Dillon, and I don't know why he's going so low, but I think it's because just how he was such a huge sleeper last year for everybody, and he disappointed. And when he had that huge game, he was on people's benches. There is a real reason. Yeah, you're thinking, okay, in PPR, he's not going to be that good. But I mean, we're talking round 9 here. In round 9, what running back are you going to get? What top 2 Matt LaFleur running back is there in round 9? There's not anybody close. Like the Couch League draft, Drew and I drafted Michael Carter and Trey Sermon right next to each other in round 7. And this guy's going like 2 rounds after that. So who else is there? There's nobody even in his vicinity.
That's like Devin Singletary territory.
Yeah, exactly. I saw Zach Moss go round 9 the other day. Like, come on, bro. You doing that? Even if he is the starting running back on the Bills, running backs don't score any points on that team. They don't do anything.
Unless you're Josh Allen.
It's all Josh Allen and 3 or 4 wide receivers. Any given wide receiver. Okay, go to the draft board. I got Saquon Barkley
You want me to go
up? Yeah, go up, down. Yeah. Sorry, I got Saquon Barkley the other day, 13 overall, and man, you guys tell me why.
That was crazy.
Yeah, you guys tell me why all this hate with Saquon Barkley. So news came out today that he's cutting well, he's doing well, and look, I've seen this before. I've seen it when Germ drafted Adrian Peterson with the it was 12th or 13th overall with the back-to-back picks. And we all made fun of him. And Adrian Peterson came 8 yards shy of breaking a record. He had like 2,000 something rushing yards. It was insane. And I just know that this is happening again. I'm going with my gut. But regardless of whatever you think, like
he had 2,097 yards that year.
Yeah, it was just insane. Like, and no one's bringing that up. Like, we're talking about a freak athlete, generational talent. Like, this is Saquon Barkley. That stuff matters. If you're weak, like, if you like, just look at Saquon. Like, look at how athletic he looks. Like, if you're weak, like you heal slower, and your knees heal slower, and it's just worse. But I think a guy like Saquon could bounce back. But regardless, like, even if you don't like it, guys, 13. That's where he's going now. 13 is still pretty late. Like, even if you hate him.
Comment back up. Seriously, even the Eagles fan said that. Sheesh.
I'm not as high as Barkley. Okay, so this is to my point. Like I get the worry. Like, don't get me wrong. I get the floor. But 13, come on. So Eagles fan Tom says, I'm not as high on Barkley this year, but at 13, this is crazy value and a great pick. That's exactly where he's going. So A.J. Dillon just had a draft. They did the annual Sleeper Bowl thing, and A.J. Dillon's doing a draft with a lot of the top names in the industry. They don't invite me for some reason. I know, it's all good. It's fine. It's all good. But Saquon Barkley, Scott Fish, head of the Scott Fish Bowl, he took Saquon Barkley at 12 as well in 12-team league. So he got him at the same spot, 13th pick.
So I can't believe he's fallen that far.
Yeah, it's just... it's just going like, look, if you want Zeke over Saquon, I'm not going to say anything. That's fine. So if you go Zeke in 5, but once we're in the 9, 10, 11 range, like, how do you pass up on Saquon? You guys are that scared of a generational talent. Why aren't you scared of CMC? Like, didn't he screw you over last year? You're not scared of CMC though. Oh, they're downplaying this injury, guys. Come on. Like, you got to see through it. Don't be scared. Now, don't draft if you're don't draft Saquon Barkley in 100% of your leagues. Don't do that. All right. Are we going to read that comment or not? You're putting comments up with this. Eli G. See, I'm a huge fan of Zeke this year, which is why I took him at 5. If I had pick 6, he would be my pick. Talking about Saquon. That's totally fine. Zeke with Dak, you can't really go. If Dak's healthy, you can't really go wrong with Zeke. Like, I have worries about Zeke too, but they're not that big. And like I said, if Dak's healthy, Zeke's going to be just fine. He's going to be great. Who else we got? Oh, Antonio Brown. I think his antics on the Raiders and all he's done. I think Antonio Brown, I think his value is so low. I feel like he's just as good as Godwin and Evans, and the stats show that he's not really far behind once he got acclimated. So I don't know why Antonio Brown's going so low, other than what I just said. Like, people are worried about that stuff, but all that stuff is baked into his round 8 ADP. And then we got Devante Smith. I'll tell you why Devante Smith is going so low. It's because he's skinny. But I got a question. I got a question for you, Drew. I mean, is he Hollywood Brown? Is he Tavon Austin? Because that's what people are worried about. I remember Tavon Austin. Where did he go in the couch league as a rookie? I think he went like round 8. I don't know, something like that. Round 10. I don't know, like one round after Devante Smith. I mean, I think this guy clearly is not Hollywood Brown. He's clearly not Tavon Austin. You're on mute. You're still on mute.
Sorry,
there you go.
There was a cat screaming in the background in here. No, what I was trying to say is Devante Smith was like the best wide receiver all around in college last year. He wasn't just a gadget player. He didn't just run deep routes. Like, he did every single route.
2 years, I'd say.
Excellent. Yeah. So I don't think he'll be either Hollywood Brown or Tavon Austin or, you know, Ted Ginn Jr. or any of the guys who just run down the field and hope to catch the deep ball. I think this guy's going to catch every single pass that he gets thrown, every type of pass. And I think it really just rests on Jalen Hurts' shoulders, really.
Wow, we have some support. Wow, look at this Saquon support pouring in. Chris says Saquon is going to show out just like AP did, returning from a serious injury. Love it. What is all these Saquon? These guys haven't been here before, I'm telling you. Michael said, tore my ACL in high school. He'll be back stronger than ever. Wow.
All right. I believe Michael too. Seriously, yeah. I think, you know, definitely ligaments can do that. And especially, you know, with these athletes and the way they train, they're super strong, talented, and they work out like every single day of their life when they're healthy.
Yeah. Well, I got a story for you guys, and we'll end it on that. You know, just thanks for tuning in, and always, you know, always think about why and what people are doing. You know, never have that ego to where, like, you know, like half your team's gonna be bust every draft, at least. If you draft 7 out of 16 players that pan out, you're gonna very, very likely win your league. So don't have an ego. Know that at least half the players we like are gonna miss or get hurt or something. Always think about what's going on. You know, like, I think ego could be the number one thing that gets in your way when drafting to help you lose. And sometimes it's the opposite. Sometimes you're not confident. That's why you want to do mock drafts. You want to keep it stupid simple. That's why I have my 1-page cheat sheet. It's just 1 page. It's separated by tiers. It's stupid simple. Always simplify everything. Don't try to do too much. If you worry about too much, that's what you're going to lose. If you have too much of an ego, that's how you're going to lose. If you're not confident and you make panic picks, that's how you're going to lose. If you just get rid of those big mistakes, chances of winning dramatically increase. And, you know, hopefully, I don't know if you guys agree with me or not, but like, I'm trying to figure out why these guys ADPs are like this. And I think a lot of my theories are right. AJ Dillon did something bad last year. Saquon Barkley hurt a lot of feelings. You know, he missed out on, you know, he's been injured a lot. And, you know, the reports are coming in. I think people are scared. Everything has something to say about Saquon, but no one, actually one person did on Twitter, but other than him, no one has admitted that they're scared to draft Saquon. You can say it. You can say it. Like, I'm scared to draft Saquon. See, you know, you got to recognize the risk. That's all. Keep it real with yourself. All right, story time. Let's put up a picture of Sush. This is a great story. And gosh, I wish I found the should have sent you the picture I found. I found a picture of the end result, but it's all good. I'll post that. I'll post that someplace, and I'll post it in the Discord.
So this is the picture of the trade. Do you want this or just
yeah, so Sushane is team 10, by the way. So Team 10, as you guys know, I got pretty lucky with this trade. I mean, I think I took a dub with this trade before the injury, but I also got big time lucky for making this trade on time. I traded my first round pick, Saquon Barkley, and I traded my fourth round pick, Travis Etienne, for Sushane's second round pick, Antonio Gibson, and third round pick, CeeDee Lamb. For those of you that listened to the last podcast, know that, yes, I traded Saquon and Etienne for his CD and Gibson. 94% of people thought I won when I did that trade originally. Now it's clearly 100%. And so Sushane, he came to the draft. He was enjoying himself. He loved it. I mean, this guy he was cheering. He was loving it. Offered to help clean up at the end. And if you guys watch the video, the draft party video, we hid reins in all the helmets, and I was missing my rein. There's 6 champions and 12 people there. I was missing my rein. I thought maybe someone stole it, and then I was like, well, could someone have taken it by accident? And I was like, both things are unlikely. I even thought of like, who could like steal the ring? Like, I was like, nobody I can picture stealing the ring, because it's not about stealing an object. It's like, I mean, it's like secretly want to kill me. Like, if I throw a draft party, like I spent all this money, like I put all this time, and like someone, I like no, like I counted all 12. I was like, none of these dudes I can picture stealing a ring and hating me that much, like to like purposely be like, I hate this guy secretly this much.
That
like,
would be so bad.
Yeah, just tell me like you don't want to be in the league. Like, just be like, I don't want to be in the league this year. That's fine. Like, don't come and steal a ring. Like, what kind of weird? Like, nothing else is missing from my house. Like, just the ring. And then I'm like, all right. I'm like, there's just no way. And then it came to my head, like, oh man, this guy was feeling himself, and he threw away. He helped us throw away all the stuff. I was like, did he throw away my ring? After looking 45 minutes through the trash, I was like, this is a bad idea. I'm not finding my ring. So I got like gloves on. I'm digging through, like, it's not a normal trash because it's a post-draft party trash. It's squishy. It's gross. There's a lot of liquid, a lot of sugar. It's disgusting. It's all loose items so now I'm like,
with little bits of rice everywhere.
Oh, it's disgusting. So now I'm like, well, I'm already doing this, so I'm like, well, I'm gonna really break this up. So there's no bags exist now. Everything's just all over the place outside. Just everything's just disgusting. So I'm just digging through. I'm sweating with my hands, and then the last trash bag, I go through. And I finally find the ring. And thankfully, we put it in a Ziploc bag because that would have been disgusting. I found the ring. I took a picture. I'll post it on Discord. I took a picture of it. I found the ring. It was definitely a good moment. And you know what? Like, I was falling asleep while editing the video, like really bad. So I needed a break. I was like, I need something to do. And oh boy, did that get me digging through trash with the flies and all this disgusting squishing. Like, I was close to throwing up a couple. Oh yeah, the adrenaline was, and I was angry because I instantly regretted doing this. I was like, this is a stupid idea. I should have never did this. So now I'm angry, like 10 out of 10. I'm my blood's flowing because I'm exercising now, because I'm doing squats, I'm doing lunges, I'm digging through trash like this. It's disgusting. Like, I go through the trash like 3 times. Like,
by the way, it's like 100 degrees where we live, so it's
I'm sweating at all. Thankfully, it was like at 7 or something, and the sun just set, so it was just a little bit cooler.
But it gets hot later in the day always. Anyway,
I'm just saying, like, at least it wasn't like, if it was at like 4 p.m. like, well, stop. Like, it's
you're dead.
But yeah, I did, and I finally found it, and it was such a victory for me. It was all worth it, because if I didn't find it, there'd always be that small percent chance, like, what happened? Did somebody take? Like, I just wanted to, you want to be like, for
closure.
Sure. Like, we knew like what like that story made so much sense, so I knew, but I still wanted to make sure and find the ring. And let me say, it's a dope ring. Where is this? Here we go. This is it. Like, now I treasure this even more. It's a dope ring. Shout out to Trophy Smack. Guys, hit me up. I got a special promo code for Trophy Smack.
Yeah, this thing is pretty insane, guys.
So, this is it right here. I found it. And let's get a close up on this. Let's get a big screen. So, thankfully, we got it. Make it nice and big, Drew. Producer.
Oh yeah, sorry. I was gonna put mine away there.
Oh yeah, there we go. Yes.
I'll pull it out though, just
this
to
like
show.
This.
That thing is sick.
Do we smash it like this?
Oh yeah, hold on. I gotta go like this.
You're just so much bigger. Yeah, so it was all worth it. And yeah, man. That was crazy. Appreciate you guys watching the draft video. If you didn't already. But yeah, Trophy Smack. If you want to go to their website, you get a trophy or a belt, and just use promo code Fantasy Couch, and you'll get a free ring with any trophy or belt on there when they ask for
it's heavy code. Too. I mean, seriously. I tried to throw a ping pong ball when we were doing the draft order with it on my right hand, and I swear to God, I thought I almost, broke my, had my hand hit the table almost.
Yeah.
Heavy. Anyways.
It's sick. I didn't see the rings before they came, and so when you opened them, I was like, "Oh, they actually look pretty good." Like that's what you said. You're like, "Whoa!" Like, yeah, they were. Cool.
I never expected it to be that sturdy. I mean, it's legit like a real ring type style.
It's just dope, and of course, it means a lot to me because I dig it up from the ashes, from the trenches, from the dirt. All right, guys, we'll end it there. See you on the next podcast. Next podcast could be really cool. So you may want to tune in. You might want to tune into it live on Thursday night. All right, guys. Peace.
Take care.